Cal's Reacts is back, and guess what? The good people at Jubilee have sauced up something special for us. We've got strangers rank their intelligence. IQ versus I'd probably come last on this list. IQ versus first impressions. Now, this should actually be a really good one. Shout out Jubilee, as always, they come through clutch. We brought 6 people together to rank themselves based on I missed that.
I'm Sade, I'm 24. I work in
Sade.
finance. I have a bachelor's degree. I went to Yale.
I'm Tyler, I'm 21,
Yale.
I'm a high school graduate, and I work in the Marine Corps.
I'm Kaylee, I'm 25, I'm a software developer. I went to Ohio University and I have a bachelor's degree.
Maria, I'm 30 years old. I have my PhD in cancer biology and I work in a biotech industry. Grad school, I went to University of South Carolina, and undergrad, I went to University of Florida.
Hi everybody, my name is Sean. I'm 27.
Hi Sean.
I'm the director of social media for a company, and I also work for a digital ad agency. I got a double major in dance and cultural anthropology. Undergrad, I went to Loyola Marymount University.
Hi everybody, I'm Ray. I'm 24. I graduated with a bachelor's degree from Harvard recently, and I work in
Harvard! Oh my. So wait, what's the point? Surely they've just read out, like, we can already roughly tell where they're gonna be, right?
Is age a factor?
Yeah, it gives you like years of experience.
Yeah, I guess
We need maybe it's good to identify what intelligence means to everybody.
I think intelligence is better defined as your adaptability and your problem-solving skills more than it is your education. Obviously, like the education, the stuff you've been through puts a lot into play in it because it gives you more resources, more thoughts to draw from. The formal education definitely helps, but
Why does this guy just always look like someone's holding him hostage when he's talking?
When I saw you, I told myself, Maria, do not judge him just by his looks. He could be throwing you off, or that's just who he is, but he can talk the talk and walk the walk. Sean, I didn't want to judge him based on the way he looks or dresses or acts, so I was like, I think he's intelligent.
first impressions, I would put him at the bottom only because when I was in school, all the other people with like the bright neon colors and stuff, they were typically the ones doing worse in classes. If we were ranking confidence, I'd definitely put Sean at very first place.
The Marine guy, he's in last. The Marine guy needs to be in last.
I like your definition.
I know, I was gonna say, I like my definition.
Yeah.
It combines everything.
Does anyone have any like initial?
You can be honest.
Start on that side. I'm done going first.
I feel like I have a good combination of both, like book smart. And
This
street
Donnie,
smart.
this Donnie here on the far left should be first, for sure.
It really goes beyond IQ and EQ. Even those two different factors don't really capture what
True.
it really means to be intelligent.
I agree.
I know I'm not, from Yale. I don't have a PhD, but what I lack in those areas, I'm able to still problem solve and use my own skill set, my emotional intelligence as well as my social intelligence.
You know what's crazy though? You could argue that this is intelligence, right? But the ability to waffle and make it sound like you are intelligent is almost like a skill in itself. But I would probably put him in the middle somewhere.
I feel like I have high emotional intelligence, like I'm aware of my surroundings.
She comes
As a
across
software
more.
developer, my problem-solving skills are obviously top-notch, I think I would say. My whole life, I've kind of had to fight to be seen as intelligent. I think I'm so used to having to do that as a woman, to just step up and be like, I deserve to be here. My first job out of college, I was working at a law firm. A gentleman came up to me and said, hi, you don't look like somebody that would work at a law firm. You look like somebody I'd go on spring break with. And I'm like, what?
Obviously, out of everyone here, I've got the least formal education. I consider myself intelligent. My mental dedication and my ability to...
Nah, this Donnie. I'm so sorry, but for some reason, I can't take this guy seriously. It's something about the way he talks. It's like someone just trying to be smart.
What I do in the Marine Corps, I'm a seabird defense specialist. So I think that by virtue of what I do, that already requires some amount of intelligence.
Sorry, quick question. So do you think that only certain people can do your job, or do you think anyone can do your job?
Only certain people. You have to take the ASVAB before you go into the military. That's not really how much you know, but how well you can learn information. And I got a 94 on that. It's not an amount of how much you study, how much you know. You're not gonna really get better at learning.
I strongly
way.
disagree with. You don't get better at learning.
Oh, they're onto my man. They sniffed it out. He's on the road.
The idea that you can get better at learning is a pretty big signifier of intelligence. I'm very much dyslexic. I have ADHD, and I'm on the autism spectrum. Dyslexia means that there's a big gap in comprehension. I'll never be able to learn another language. I took Spanish for 12 years, and I can still basically only order a burrito.
Yeah, I feel that. I felt like I took French at school for so many years, and to this day, I don't even know how to say hello, how are you?
And why did you go to Harvard?
My parents are immigrants from China, and I'm a first generation immigrant as well, and college student as well. My family always really stressed the importance of formal education. For me, that was something that I really strived for.
I wasn't planning to go to college. That wasn't like a goal of mine. My parents were like, well, you should apply to at least one college. And I was like, I'll never get in here. And then I went to Yale.
So those of you guys that don't know, Yale is like a top uni college, whatever they call it over there. If it was me, I think either one of those two. And then I think 3 for me would probably be Red Pants there. And then number 4 would be Hands on Hips over there. And then I would go Donnie in the funky outfit. And then in last place, I would go with Mr. Marine.
Rank each other from 1 to 6, including yourself.
Right, here we go.
And give reasons why you want to do what you're doing.
I gotta go 1.
No.
Oh yeah. 2, 3, 4, 5,
Yes.
6.
Yes. I'm similar, but I would put the girl who did the ranking just 1 up.
You as a 6, not meaning that you're not intelligent. I also think that I don't place a lot of value on the military.
Oh! That is an outrageous thing to say. The military has some of the smartest people in it because guess what? They have the most funding you could ever imagine, so they can pay the maddest money for the smartest people. In this particular case, I would be inclined to agree with you.
I'd probably do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I'm the villain this episode.
Does anyone think they're like at either end of the spectrum?
I'd say I'm 1, if nothing else, because I know what I'm about and I'm sure of that.
Look, nobody in this lineup believes that.
I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay. I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
This guy's catching, so he can't hack it. He can't hack. He's the only Donnie to put himself somewhere that isn't 6, and he put himself first.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, immigrant parents, first generation going to college, humble, modest. 2, me, I don't know, PhD, cancer biology scientist. I work in a biotech company. We make COVID-19 testing kits, stuff like that.
She's just complimented someone for being humble and then goes on a madness. I think she's 3.
It has nothing to do with your background. I don't think you really have the highest EQ out of all of us.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and out 6. So the reason why I put you at number 1 is I think you have the highest, not only EQ score out of everybody, but the way you present yourself, as well as being a PhD student, I think is just like a huge thing. And I put myself 6 because I feel like I might be the weakest in terms of actual IQ score. Hopefully I can make it up to everything else.
Down.
Who got the most?
Shanae was
like
pretty up
you.
there too.
Yeah,
I feel like
okay,
you're
okay.
definitely 3, right?
Yeah, and then she's
You were
up.
4. Yeah. 5.
All right, here we go. I would actually agree with this. At first, I said that 3 and 1 should be together, but look, the top 3, I'd be willing to say is a safe bet.
Is anyone upset with where they're standing?
The Donnie at the
I think it
bottom.
makes sense that I'm down here. Like the guy who graduated from high school and then joined the military, he probably wouldn't be like high up on there. If I was in their shoes, I definitely would have also ranked myself among the lowest.
Fair enough. All right, here we go. All 6 will now take an IQ test. Interesting. Intelligence can be in so many different ways. This is just one way of it being shown.
It was kind of expected. We're being ranked by intelligence, an IQ test. It's not that far out the realm of possibility.
So number 1 is Raymond. Number 2 would be Kaylee. Number 3 will be Tyler. And number 4 would be Shada. Number 5 is Sean. And number 6 is Maria.
Ha! Holy smokes! Tyler from the depths! Boy, I know right now, Tyler, behind his head, he's thinking, fuck these guys.
I think an IQ test tests something. I don't think it's intelligence. It's definitely testing something.
The switch up from her, I swear before she said she was backing it.
I have really severe dyslexia. There's 2 questions on that test that I automatically basically can't answer.
I'm sure if you studied for an IQ test, you would do a lot better.
Nah, Ray's cold, man. This guy's so slick. He was put in number 1, secured the number 1 spot, built different, Ray.
Coming back to intelligence, it's not just your IQ, it's your EQ, it's your common sense, it's street smarts. Sure, it is some type of metric.
Bro, now this Maria chick, she's looking foolish. She was giving it the big ones about the PhD and I solved COVID, blah, 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 blah.
This is my villain redemption arc. I'm climbing up the ladder.
Yo, I'm actually kind of gassed for Tyler. Look, I was on to Tyler from early, but fair play, lad. The top ones were all pretty close, and then they got peaked towards the end. Anyways, guys, that wraps it up with this video. I really like this video. Shout out Jubilee. Of course, their link will be down below to the original video. Please, guys, go show some love to their channel. Hit subscribe on their channel. Hit subscribe on my channel as well. I really appreciate it. I'll see you guys in a bit. Laters.